I want to go into a new segment that's going to be called Overreaction or Spot On. So there's been a lot of talk about this film being freaking phenomenal. And then we all went and saw it. Can confirm. So I've came up with 5 statements that I want to see if you guys think are an overreaction or if it's spot on. Okay? First one. We're barely into March, but Dune 2 is going to be the best movie of the year. Overreaction or spot on?
I'm trying to think of the others that are coming out.
I'm prepared to say spot on with the qualifier that a more apt explanation for me would be, it looks like it's going to be the best movie of the year. I have a hard time imagining another movie providing as grand of a viewing experience, even if there's a movie that I potentially like more. This movie is just so grand in scope. Such a huge cast, amazing special effects. Like, it feels like truly an epic in the true use of the word, an epic tale.
Yeah.
You know, it's larger than life. And so I have a hard time imagining something besting it. I feel like it could get nominated for Best Picture next year when the Oscars comes around. I don't think it's insane to say these things. It's hard for some people to imagine because it's March.
Yeah,
but
it's so early.
It could very well be the best movie of the year.
Dan, overreaction or spot on?
I'd have. He convinced me it's spot on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. All right. Moving into the next statement. In 5 to 10 years, Dune will be the most popular sci-fi story.
Say overreaction.
Yeah.
Overreaction? Okay.
Yeah.
I think that this movie really lines up with like filmmakers and casual audiences in a really good way. I don't think like it's going to overpower Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars just has such a legacy.
Yeah. When you compare Star Wars and Star Trek to Dune and even Lord of the Rings and stuff, they just have such massive followings. Dune is as good of a universe as all of them, and I think, but it just doesn't have as much inertia as those larger franchises.
Doesn't have as much source material, right? I mean, like there's 2 Dune books, I believe.
I think there's like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought it was Dune and Dune Messiah. I'm not.
No. There's more.
But still, when it comes to Star Wars, there is so many comics, and then there's graphic novels. Like, there is so much material in the Star Wars world now, like 50 years later since it came out. There's such a wealth of written stories, video games, TV shows. It would take a long time for Dune to catch up in that aspect.
And going on what you just said, Andrew, I think it's a lot to do with it's a household name, Star Wars. Everyone knows, oh, that's that guy, Darth Vader, Luke, I am your father. They can quote that, whereas Dune doesn't have that kind of household name kind of thing.
You're telling me everybody is not at home right now saying, I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, Duke of Arrakis.
If you ask them what a Jedi is, they would know. If you ask them what a Bene Gesserit is, they don't know.
No one, yeah. Even people who have seen Dune and Dune Part 2 still might not know what a Bene Gesserit
Say that. Yeah. Okay. Statement 3. Denis Villeneuve has the best 7-movie run in director's history. Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, Dune, and Dune Part 2.
Overreact, absolutely.
Yeah. We talk about Christopher Nolan.
That honor belongs to my boy Christopher Nolan. Dude, 3 Batman movies, Inception, Interstellar, like Dunkirk, he popped off.
Yeah.
He went way too hard in that era. I think Prestige was the movie that preceded Batman Begins, and that's 7 right there. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, he was.
You have Dunkirk and Tenet in there too, which for audience are...
I don't think Tenet makes it. And Dunkirk is like Oscar-winning movie.
What do you mean makes it?
Because if you start at Prestige, right? Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Inception, and then The Dark Knight Rises, and then Interstellar, Dunkirk. So that's 7.
Yeah.
Tenet's probably one of the more divisive ones.
Okay. Kind of still like talking on this subject. Do you think it's comparable? Is he?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, where does he sit? Like, he's got to be one of the best directors currently working, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's phenomenal.
And he's very enjoyable to watch.
Dude, and what I love too is I feel like he's humble as a person too, because I saw this interview where he was talking about his conversations with Florence Pugh, and he was saying she plays Princess Irulan in Dune Part 2, and he was telling her, oh, like, I'm sorry, I understand if you have to pass on it. It's not that big of a role in this movie, but I promise it will be a much larger role in the 3rd film. And she was like, "Oh no, it's okay. I just really want to work with you and be on set for this grand movie." And dude, for him to like take himself to that thought process, like he could be a person that sits up in his throne and is like, "She's lucky to work with me."
Yeah.
But he recognizes Florence Pugh's talent and her star power,
Right.
and was like, I understand that this could be an appealing aspect of this role to you. Like, I just feel like that was humble of him to do. He
Yeah.
didn't have to say that. And I'm really glad that they have that working relationship that they do. I respect him a lot, not only for his work, but for that like statement right there.
Yeah, he has a few movies that are in my top 20 favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I mean, after doing Blade Runner 2049, Arrival, and Dune Part 1, and Prisoners, like,
He's cooking. He's cooking.
Yeah, people want to work with him.
Yeah.
Like, he could have a big head, so.
Okay, statement 4. Greig Fraser is the best cinematographer right now. Overreaction or spot on?
You guys are going to get a feel throughout this episode how I feel about this question. This is a spot motherfucking on.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'm not familiar enough with his work.
So he also did the Batman, the poster behind there, and then Dune Part 1, obviously.
Rogue One, Mandalorian.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
There's other.
I agree.
There's plenty of other great, talented cinematographers, but he's like, dude, he's fire. Like
He's got style.
This is his Michael Jordan with the Bulls era right now.
Yeah.
If he's able to top this, that wouldn't even make sense.
Yeah. Roger Deakins, I think, just has a longer career. But right now, Greig Fraser's cooking.
yeah, I mean-
He's got some masterpieces out there.
I was thinking about this today in the shower. Keep your mind. Hey, no dirty thoughts, Aaron. And
No dirty thoughts in a clean shower.
And I mean, Wally Pfister, he used to be Nolan's cinematographer. He does some great work. He works in my favorite movie of all time. Hoyt van Hoytema does amazing work. I mean, there's plenty of great talented cinematographers.
Absolutely.
But dude, Greig Fraser, I think really set himself apart with this.
He was part of the creator.
Oh yeah.
I think he's set himself on a different level.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think this was spot on too. Where are you sitting?
I agree.
Okay.
The movies you mentioned, the cinematography
Yeah.
always stood out to me in every level. Yeah.
But Hoyt van Hoytema did Interstellar. I mean, it's insane. There are other great people.
Yeah, absolutely. By saying someone's the best right now is
Yeah.
not trashing anyone
Yeah.
else by any means. It's just praising that
He
person.
just is the best
yeah,
right now.
yeah. Okay, last one, and I think this will segue us into the rest of the conversation very nicely. Dune Part 2 will be the highest grossing movie of 2024. Overreaction or spot on?
I want to say spot on for my box office team, but I'm going to say overreaction.
Okay. I'm surprised you said that.
The timing of the movies early in the year as opposed to later when the summer blockbusters are those are traditionally the biggest grossing.
And I think that they're poised in a good spot on one end because of that, because there's not a lot to compete with it right now. There's not as many big movies. But I do think when we get into the heat of summer, people are going to be thirsting to go to the movies, and they're gonna drink because there's going to be Deadpool 3. I think Deadpool 3 is a high contender for highest grossing movie this year. There's going to be Despicable Me 4. There's going to be Inside Out 2. So it's going to be just
Kung Fu Panda. Those have done well. Maybe not the highest, but there's competition.
Kung Fu Panda comes out this weekend.
Yeah. There's competition.
Yeah.
So overreaction?
It comes out this weekend?
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda, yeah.
Overreaction, yeah. I would
Okay.
say, given the timing mostly on my end.